Welcome to the AI Queens podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs learn to ditch the overwhelm, embrace AI, and build businesses fit for royalty. I'm Erika Stanley, your host and tech expert, here to deliver tools, tips, and actionable strategies to help you scale smarter. Let's get to it. Raise your hand if you've ever spent 20 minutes staring at a blinking cursor and a blank page, trying to think of a social media caption, and then gave up or posted nothing. Yeah, same. But AI is totally supposed to make this easier, right? Then why do so many AI generated captions just feel off? Well, here's the problem. AI is great for speed, but most people are using it wrong. They're just copying and pasting whatever ChatGPT spits out, and then they wonder why their content flops. It's because great content isn't just written, it's got foundations in strategy and designed to drive action. So, if you've ever scrolled Instagram, seen a post, and thought, who actually engages with this crap? Yeah, that's not what we're doing today. Today's goal for the AI Queens podcast, I'm going to walk you through some ways that you can use AI to write captions that actually work. And I'm going to teach you a super simple AI driven framework for captions that get engagement and drive business growth. So let's dive in. Part one. Here's why your AI generated content is totally flopping. These are common mistakes that I see all the time. First, it sounds like AI. Look, ChatGPT has been out for a while now, and people are getting pretty clever about picking up the telltale signs that you're just copying and pasting straight responses. And this is not just ChatGPT. This is all of the major LLMs, whether you're using Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT. There are some obvious signs and obvious words that they're all using, but it doesn't have to work that way. I want to dig into the issue a little bit and explore why this is happening. It's because all of the LLMs, the large language models that we're all using, they were all trained on really similar things: books, newspaper articles, blogs, all of the things that we have access to on the internet. And because they were all trained in really similar ways, the content that they spit out is naturally really similar. So unless you give it context, or if you're training it to match your voice, it's going to spit out similar things for similar people. Unless you are giving it additional context or training it to match your voice, all of it's going to sound the same because it was all trained the same way. When you copy and paste a response straight from ChatGPT, you're letting yourself be lazy. It's spitting out a response, you know it's crap, and you're just putting it up to get something up on your feed. When you do that, you're hurting yourself more than that random AI, emoji-filled, unleashed post is helping. It's hurting you more than it's helping. It's the risk of lost engagement, which impacts the algorithm. The less people are engaging and clicking, the less likely they are to see your posts going forward. It's the risk of a damaged reputation because people who were engaging with you and who you were building trust with over time, now they all see that you're phoning it in and they're like, meh, and they scroll on by. So it's a vicious cycle. But there's a simple fix for this where you can still use AI to streamline your process and maintain authenticity. Here's the simple fix. You need custom instructions, which we'll get into in a later episode, but you also need better prompts. And we're going to go through that in just a minute. Here's another common mistake that I see. You're posting just to post with no strategy. And this is a huge issue with AI. You're not giving it the purpose of the post. It's just spitting out responses based on assumptions. It's not great at assuming things. And as we just established, you're not giving it much to work with to begin with. So here's a perfect fix. Every caption should have a goal. Am I looking for engagement? Do I want to build authority? Or is this a sales or a promotion of something I've got coming up? You've got to tell AI what the goal is. It's not going to guess that for you. Finally, the other big one that I see, it's missing the why should I care factor. Why is this a problem? AI, without customizations, is giving surface level copy. You need to add the emotion and the personal connection. Here's the fix we're going to add. I'm going to show you how to add a personal insight or an opinion to your AI generated content. Okay, On to part 2, I want to teach you the AI caption formula that's going to help you write it right every time. And this is the AI Queen's 3-part caption framework. This is a plug and play method that you can all use today. And it's super simple: hook, body, and CTA, or call to action. That's it. 3 parts. You're going to start with a hook, you're going to move on to the body, and then you're going to end with a call to action. So let's go through those one at a time. All right, first up, we've got the hook. We've all seen these on Instagram Reels, we've seen them in captions. All that really means is that it's a way to hook your audience in, grab their attention, and stop the doom scroll, right? And just stop that automatic scroll. You're going to grab their attention and get them to stop and look at your content. A generic prompt that's going to lead to boring AI captions and not stop their scroll is something that I see my clients put into ChatGPT all the time when they first start out. And it's, write me an Instagram caption about XYZ. So for me, it would be using AI for business. That's not going to get you anything good. It's going to get you generic crap that nobody is going to stop and read. However, you can use an upgraded version of that and give ChatGPT more context. I'll put these in the show notes so that you can copy and paste them or edit them to your own usage. An upgraded version of this, instead of write me an Instagram caption about your business, you're going to give it more context and say, I'm your business type, and I help your audience with what it is you do. So that's the beginning of your prompt. You are laying the foundation and letting ChatGPT know exactly who you are, who you help, and what you do, right? So I'm an X and I help Y with Z, what problem you help solve, right? So the second part of the prompt, you're going to give it more instructions. I want to create an Instagram caption that educates my audience about a specific topic. Can you write me 3 hook options? One that's funny, one that's empowering, and one that's educational. Make sure they sound conversational and engaging. Okay, so the 2 different pieces of this, you're setting it up and you're telling it about your business, about your audience, and about the problem you solve. And then the second piece of that is you're giving AI the instructions on what you want it to do. It's going to give you 3 options, and you're going to pick the one that is most resonating with you at the time. But also, if you've been talking to your audience, there might be one that stands out that you have heard from more people about. Are they going to resonate more with something that's a little more funny? Are they going to resonate with something that's a little more empowering? You know the tone of your audience, and you can take those 3 hook options and pick one that best suits not just you, but best suits your audience, because that's who you're trying to get to engage with this content. So when I did this for myself, here are the 3 examples that I got. So the funny one, AI can help you write captions in seconds. But unfortunately, it won't stop you from overthinking them for an hour before posting. The empowering one, AI isn't here to replace you, it's here to free you. Work smarter, not harder, queen. Not digging that one, obviously. And then the educational one, struggling to stay consistent on social media, AI can help you. Here's how I use AI to batch a month worth of captions in under an hour. Okay, so for my specific audience, I think the funny one is probably the direction I'd go. And that's just me knowing my audience. You're going to have to feel this out yourself and go from there. But once you've got your hook, you can move into part 2. Before we do that, if you're in a place where you can do so, I want you to pause the episode and try this right now. Like seriously, grab your phone or your laptop, open up ChatGPT, and run this prompt. I'll wait. All right, moving on to part 2. This is the body. And you're going to teach, entertain, or connect with your audience. You might do a little of all 3. We're going to expand on this hook. We're going to expand on this idea in a way that's educational for your audience. We want it to be super relatable, and we also want it to be engaging. And we want to make sure that the response aligns with the goal of the post. Remember at the beginning, I was telling you about one of the main things that I see people are missing. Your post needs to have a goal. And if that's to spark engagement, you want people to engage and click and comment with the post. If you're trying to build authority, or if you're trying to drive sales. So for me, instead of AI helps you write captions. You're going to explain why it matters, right? So, time savings, mental load relief, brand growth. Here's a sample prompt you can use. And again, I'm going to put all of these in the show notes. So, if you're driving, please don't stress about, stopping to write any of this down. Going back to the original prompt, I run this type of business, I help this type of audience with this specific thing. And I want to create an Instagram caption about this specific topic, right? You've already got your hook. You can put that in there and tell it. The goal of this post is engagement, authority, sales, etc. Make it feel more engaging by adding a personal anecdote, a surprising statistic, or a relatable struggle that my audience faces. That's the end of the prompt. However, I do want you to be careful with two things there: anecdotes and statistics. First of all, anecdotes. You can add these in yourself. AI likes to make shit up. So if you want it to add an anecdote, it will. It just won't be personal to you. So if it adds a story that seems super random, you can just tell it, no, 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 let's make it this story instead, right? So you can add in that personal touch. And about statistics. ChatGPT has gotten a lot better about not hallucinating since they've released updated models, but it's always wise to ask it to give you the source so that you can double check before you spout off some misinformation to your audience. And when you are using ChatGPT, there's a little symbol at the bottom of the entry box. It looks like a little globe. If you click on that, it knows that you want it to search the internet. Now, you can just tell it to give you a source and it will go out and search for it. But you can always click that if you want it to use the internet to source some statistics for you. And then, just like in old reference books, when we were in college doing reference papers, there's going to be a little number, a little footnote, and you can click on it and it will take you directly to the source. You can make sure that it's a source that you trust, that your audience would trust, so that you're not breaking that trust relationship that you have with your audience by giving them false information. Okay, so those are my two little caveats. But back to the body, why does this work? First of all, you are adding emotion and you're adding relatability. ChatGPT, you're telling it about your business, you're telling it about your audience, and it's going to help you bridge the gap with something that is super relatable to a struggle they might face that would appeal to them in a way that is a problem that you can solve, right? So it's making all of those little connections for you. It's also making the content feel personal and engaging. So you can add an anecdote, you can add a statistic, something that's going to click in their head and they're going to remember, right? And then finally, it's going to drive real connection instead of giving generic advice. By giving it this additional context, your captions are going to feel richer and more valuable. And therefore, you're connecting more with your audience rather than just the generic captions that we talked about in the beginning. Like, oh, here's an Instagram caption about using AI for business. Now we've given them a much richer, more valuable version of that they can connect to. Final piece is the CTA, which is the call to action. You are telling people literally what you want them to do next. So the very last piece of this prompt, I want you to tell ChatGPT, give me 3 CTAs that encourage engagement or sales, whatever the goal is. And if it's sales, then maybe, sales without sounding pushy, right? Because nobody wants to be hard sold to on social media. That's not the point of social media. Anyway, so you're going to have it give you 3 CTAs that help you reach your goal. So if you're using MiniChat, which is another amazing AI tool, if you're not using MiniChat, I'm sure you have engaged with it on social media. It's where you can see that somebody said, drop this word in the comments and I'll send you XYZ. And then their little bot, their MiniChat bot will send you whatever it is they promised to give you in the post. Some examples of this of calls to action. So drop a thumbs up in the comments if you're ready to use AI for your content or want to see AI in action. DM me and I will send you some examples. Or not sure where to start? Join the AI Queen Society and get the prompts that make all of this super easy. See how I just dropped that in there in the middle of my podcast? Thanks, AI. Anyway, but you can have it give you those CTAs, and then you pick the one that is the most applicable for the caption that you're building. All right, so now you've got your three pieces. You've got the hook to pull them in, you've got the body, which is teaching them, connecting with them, and then you've got the call to action, which is the last piece, telling them what you want them to do next. Now, I want to go through this in a live example to put it all together. And I'm going to use an example client. And for the sake of this, we're going to say it's a luxury interior designer specializing in coastal homes for high achieving career women. Okay. So, interior designer, coastal homes, high achieving career women. So, my boring AI generated caption before I added anything else and just told it, create an AI caption for interior design. Transform your home into a relaxing coastal retreat with our expert interior design services. Contact us today to get started. It's a total snooze fest. Nobody's going to click on that. Nobody's going to read that. And even if they did read it, they're not getting any value from that. They're not learning anything. It's like a billboard. It's basically the digital version of a billboard, which is not helping you. The upgraded caption, after applying the AI Queens framework, your home should feel like an exhale after a high stakes day. Imagine stepping into a sun drenched coastal retreat where every detail, from the linen drapes to the ocean inspired color palette, was designed to bring you effortless luxury. Ready to create your personal oasis? Let's talk. Okay, so immediately you can tell the richness of that caption. It sounds super personal. But let's dig into why this really works and the difference between the two. So, first, you're adding emotional and sensory details, right? Like exhale, sun drenched, linen drapes. You can visualize this. And this was all written by AI. It's not me. I'm not an interior designer, and I'm also not a writer. It added that emotion and those sensory details, right? It's also speaking directly to the audience's lifestyle and desires, right? So, this is for a high achieving career woman, and she needs relaxation at the end of the day. So we're speaking directly to her lifestyle and her desires. It's also using a softer, more inviting call to action rather than contact us. It's, are you ready to create your personal oasis? Let's talk. It sounds more conversational and you're connecting with your audience at a much more genuine level rather than a contact us today to get started. Okay. I really want you all to take this method, take one of your captions that you have gotten out of ChatGPT that you thought, this is good enough. And I want you to run it through the AI Queens framework and try it out. Tag me when you post it. Tag the AI Queens Society on Instagram. I'd love to see the transformation and see what you've been doing with these. To recap, yes, AI is about speed, but it's not all about making your life faster. It's also about adding more strategy and therefore profitability to your business. When you're using AI intentionally, it stops being just a shortcut and it can start being a real growth tool. Today, we fixed some generic, boring AI captions and turned them into content that actually speaks to your audience and is going to help drive results. We learned why AI content flops. Reminder, it's totally missing personality, but it's also missing deeper strategy and a clear goal. We've upgraded our AI prompts so that they create captions that are engaging, authentic, and aligned with both your brand and your audience. And we walked through a real example so that you can really see the difference between meh and must read content. Now it's your turn. Take one of your old AI generated captions, run it through the AI Queens framework, and post the improved version. Again, I would love to see them. Tag AI Queens Society on Instagram so that we can all see the transformation. All right. And if you love what we've just covered, but you want even more, you need to be inside the AI Queens Society. Members get exclusive AI prompts, strategy, deep dives, personalized coaching, so you're never stuck on what to post again. The waitlist is open at aiqueensociety.com. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to the AI Queens podcast. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe. leave a review, and share it with a fellow queen who needs to hear this. Want more tips and tools? Join the AI Queens Society at aiqueenssociety.com and start ruling your business with confidence today. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep reigning with AI.